What's going on? Let me check my audio here. I hardly ever go live on my phone. Let's see. Do. Check here. Well, where's that? There's the look here. Hello. Yeah, it's working. Get my volume on here. Might be a little bouncy. What's up, man? What's going on, Josh? Might be a little bouncy. We're going to take a ride this morning. I'm still on time off. Ride down here. The name of that boat's Cash Only. Need to put that on the truck, Cash Only. Hopefully the signal is good enough. You having trouble with your APU, Josh? What's going on with your APU, man? Oh, good deal. Thanks, Alex. Verizon down here on the coast. Well, Verizon's began to suck everywhere, but it really sucks down here on the coast. It's kind of quiet down here in Rockport today. Yeah, them APUs are nice when they work properly. The problem is getting them to work properly. You know, I prefer an APU over OptiIdle, but it's got to work properly. You know. Yeah, Alex, Verizon has gone downhill, and what's crazy is it used to be the best service there was. Now I think, from talking to friends and stuff, I think AT&T is probably the best there is. But it's kind of frustrating to me because I had AT&T at one time, and they sucked. Verizon was the best. I swapped over to Verizon, and Verizon was great. I mean, it was awesome probably the first year. And then after that, it started going downhill. I was in the oil field at one time, and we'd be out on the rigs, and the guys with AT&T would always have service. And I seldom had service. I'd have to walk around out there in the field holding my phone up in the air trying to catch a signal. Yeah, I have a second phone. My second phone is T-Mobile, which I thought was supposed to use AT&T towers, but apparently it doesn't. T-Mobile can get kind of spotty too. But I think T-Mobile is probably a little bit better than Verizon. And like down here, T-Mobile has plenty of signal. But Verizon will skip on you down here. And you be right in the middle of town. Like right now, I'm in Rockport, Texas, which is about 20 minutes from Corpus Christi. And downtown Rockport is maybe a mile from where I'm at. And I got one bar. I mean, I'm right in the middle of town with one bar. Yeah, Josh, no, Rockport gets bouncing sometimes. It's a tourist town, so it'll get bouncing down here sometimes. Now, when I was a kid, it was pretty quiet. It was nothing but commercial shrimping and fishing. That's all it was here. But they've kind of converted, and now it's a little bit more tourism. A lot of the snowbirds, people come down from Wisconsin, Minnesota, and all that. You'll see as we're riding around, especially if I got off this main road, about every block and a half, there's an RV park. They're everywhere. Can't see it on my phone, but to my left, there's an island. It's got condos. But to the right, if you go in a street or two, it's nothing but RV parks. You ride through, and they're all out-of-staters. They're all from up north, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, especially during the winter time. Now, during the summertime, a lot of them will go back up north, but during the winter, most of the plates you see around here are from elsewhere. They're from up north. Oh, you were stationed down in Flower Bluff, Josh? Flower Bluff is ghetto, but I know there's a naval station down there. That's where my dad was when he got out of the Navy in 1975. That's how he ended up in Texas, because my dad, he was originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know, man. How is my audio? Audio. I don't know why I came this way. I can't do nothing but flip around in this little bird sanctuary. There used to be a two-way right through here, but they killed it. Oh. Everybody comes over here to look at birds with binoculars. Not really my thing. I'm getting old, but I'm not quite that old yet. I'm not at the staring at birds with binoculars age yet. So we're going to go back here and cut through the parking lot. McDonald's is hiring $13 an hour. Okay. Oh, man. Trucks sometimes park here. There's a Robbie D. Wood truck there, but most of the trucks around here park over at the Walmart. Walmart's actually got painted in truck spots. Jacked everything up when they made that a one-way. Yeah, Alex, are you working for our tour? I think they're from up that way. My dad was from St. Louis. My grandmother was from Paducah, Kentucky. My grandfather was from St. Louis. But Dad was in the Navy. He got out of the Navy when he was stationed down in Corpus. Met my mom and just kind of stayed here, never left. I still got some family up in Missouri. Not a lot, but there's a little bit up there. The Naval Clinic. Rockport's trying to get more bougie. They just passed an ordinance to no more RVs. They won't allow anybody to build any more RV parks, which I don't really blame them for that. There's probably 200 of them here. But I think they even went as far as not allowing people to have RVs at their houses anymore. Something. I think you have to put the RV in storage. A friend of mine here was telling me about it, but honestly, I don't remember the exact terms and all that to what was going on. I know they're trying to bring cruise lines down here, like they got in Galveston. They're trying to put a cruise terminal in here. I think they're building one. I just don't know how successful that's going to be. It's easier to fly into Houston and catch a cruise out of Galveston. If they put cruises down here, you're going to have to fly into San Antonio, which is 2 hours away, and then drive down here to catch a cruise. I just don't really think cruises are going to be a big thing here. But they're trying. I mean, you could fly into Corpus too, but Corpus don't have a big airport, not like that. It's usually expensive to fly into Corpus. You got to fly into Houston or San Antonio and then catch a hopper flight over to Corpus. This here's the little downtown area I was talking about. It is dead this morning. I'll cruise out and catch the ferry and go out to the island. See what's happening on the island. I need to put new shocks on this expedition. It is bouncy. What's up, 7Q? Yeah, Josh, that's where most people fly out of. At one time when I was a kid in the 80s and in the early 90s, I lived in California, and that's where we flew out of when we went out there. We flew out of San Antonio. Went from San Antonio to Phoenix, and from Phoenix to LA. That's the way we flew out to California. But for cruise lines, I just don't see cruise lines being a good thing down here. They tried the gambling boats. They had gambling boats down here at one time you could get on and you could go offshore. And once they were offshore, you could gamble. And those lasted a couple years, but even that didn't make it. In my opinion, if gambling boats won't survive, cruise lines are not going to make it either. But they're just desperately trying to get some tourism, trying to build up something. because this area was all fishing industry at one time. The fishing industry is pretty much dead, so they're losing that tax revenue. Yep, I agree, Josh. I agree. That's the yuppies down here trying to turn it into something that it's not. But they were going to put a Bass Pro Shop in here. They even built the roads for it and everything. They updated it and put roundabouts in and everything, and then some kind of disagreement came about with the taxes on the Bass Pro Shop. I think the Bass Pro Shop was wanting a period of time that it was going to be tax-free, and the city wouldn't budge on it. So Bass Pro Shop backed out of it. Now they got them brand new streets down there in that area, all them light poles, and nothing there. You know, we go down there and go fishing. So they kind of lost out doing it that way. They should have just gave Bass Pro Shop what they wanted. That would have boosted this area quite a bit, because there's a lot of fishing goes on down here, recreational fishing. By fighting with Bass Pro Shop like they didn't do nothing but lose out. One thing I like about down here when I'm off is I don't see trucks very much. Like we saw that one truck in the parking lot back there. If we went to Walmart, there'd be a few there. But you notice going up and down the road, you don't see them a whole lot. So it gets me completely away from trucking. I can kind of reset, gather my thoughts. Don't trust the water. Just there's a lot of chemicals in the water around here. We got refineries everywhere. That's why if you notice, some of the locals eat seafood here, but a lot of them don't. Usually when you see people eating seafood around here, they're not from here. Because all these chemical plants around here got to dump their waste somewhere. And normally it's in the bays or in the rivers. We're going to shoot across here over towards Aransas Pass. Then we'll catch the ferry down there. We'll cross the ferry, go over to Port Aransas to the island. See what's happening down there. It's the middle of the week, so probably not a whole lot going on down there, but you never know. Oh yeah, bacteria infections are bad down here. You know, I actually had a friend I went to high school with. He was wade fishing and ended up catching that flesh-eating bacteria, whatever they call it, and it killed him. We were young when that happened. I want to say, maybe in early 30s, and it killed him. Yeah, it's probably that I hear about. It may be more, but that I hear about, maybe one or two a year will catch it. Sometimes they just lose a foot or lose a leg or lose a hand or lose a finger. Sometimes it kills them. Depends on how fast they catch it. But from what I understand, that flesh-eating bacteria spreads pretty quickly. But they get it in Florida too, because I got a friend that lives in Florida, and it happens over there also. I think it's just got something to do with the Gulf waters. I fish down here. I'll go swimming sometimes, but normally if I go swimming, it's on the Gulf side, not on the bay side. But honestly, you kind of want to stay out of it. If you got a scratch or a cut or anything like that, you really don't want to get in the water. That's normally how you get those infections. And you know, being from down here, as a kid, I never heard about nothing like that. Like, it might have been around, but it was rare. But I've noticed as time goes by, it becomes more and more common. People are getting that flesh-eating bacteria more and more often. This is kind of off topic, but as a teenager, we used to come down here and steal them palm trees. We'd load them up in little trailers and take them up to Houston and sell them in the rich neighborhoods in Houston, those estates and stuff. We'd sell them for $100 a piece up there. Companies down here kept buying palm trees, bringing them out of the valley, bringing them up here. We just kept grabbing them, taking them up there, and selling them for $100 a piece. It's worse when the bait flips. Might be something that's in the mud, maybe. Maybe it's something that settles down in the mud. I have no idea. I know some years it's a little worse down here than it is others. Some years you might hear 2 or 3. Some years you might not hear of any, you know. That steer burger we just passed, they got pretty good food there, by the way. They built all these condos over here on the left, and half of them stay empty most of the time. I mean, they keep trying, but it's just not really taking off like you would think. Crystal Beach at Fort Bolivar did the same thing up north, and they took off up there. It's done really well, but not so much down here. Yeah, I can see that. I can see the heat and the rain affecting it. But as you know, if you were stationed down here, it doesn't rain very often. You know, it might rain once every 2 or 3 months during the summer. You know, you're lucky if you get an afternoon shower every now and then. It just doesn't rain down here very often. Now, you'll see rain. It's crazy. You'll see storms, but it's like they go around all the time. Like since I've been here for the last week, today makes a week I've been home. It's been cloudy like this most days, but it hadn't rained. Well, that's kind of like out on the road, Josh. If I wash my truck, it's going to rain. Guaranteed. If I wash my truck, it is going to rain. No doubt about it. Or snow, or sleet, or hail. But if I hit a blue beacon, it could be sun shining, perfect. 80 degrees, 90 degrees, sun shining. But if I run that truck through a blue beacon, it's going to rain. I promise you. I ran through the blue beacon and gone and parked at the truck stop. Before I go to sleep, it'll normally be raining. Now we're coming into Aransas Pass. We'll run up here by HEB and hang a left. Aransas Pass, you can kind of get away with pushing your speed limit a little bit. Rockport, I think they got one cop for every 10 people in Rockport. Go over there, everybody's running 5 miles below the speed limit. Come over here, everybody's running 5 miles above it. Yeah, Rockport's always been, or Aransas Pass has always been laid back. Aransas Pass has always been more of a working man's town. It's not real bougie. You don't see a lot of condos here. A little bit cheaper cost of living. Cops don't mess with you as much over here. People are a little more laid back over here, a little more friendly. Over in Rockport, they're a little bit more uppity. They like to refer to people from Aransas Pass as Aransas trash. I'm not from either. I'm actually from where I was raised. That's about 30 minutes north of here. Up towards Port Lavaca, Port O'Connor area. They called us Bay Rats. That's what they referred to us from Port Lavaca. We were Bay Rats. Hopefully my signal holds up here across the ferry. I don't know what my signal's going to do crossing the ferry up here. Glad the wind's laid down a little bit. I'll probably do a little fishing today. The wind was blowing so hard yesterday and the day before, it made it pretty difficult. Yeah, Rockport is mostly transplants, and that's what's odd about them being kind of stuck up, because it's like 3 out of 5 people you run into there are not from there. Like, what are you stuck up about? You're not even from here. And a lot of them are not even from anywhere in the area. It's just odd. But it is what it is. This is good fishing down here. I think to the right it's called Redfish Bay. I can't remember what it's called over to the left. But it's pretty good fishing down here if the tide's high. If the tide's low, it's not real good at all. There might be a little bit popping on the island. They got a 15-minute wait for the ferry, according to the sign. They got a little bait shop right here. You get off on this dirt road and go to the right. They got a little bait shop over there. I like to go over there and get live shrimp and croakers. Yeah, I'm at home on break, man. I've been here. Today's a week. I'll be back out on the road Monday. I'll probably leave here Sunday, midday sometime, go up to San Antonio. Make sure everything's in order on the truck. Stock up groceries, all that kind of stuff. And Monday I'll go pick up a load. Get back out. Someone's got one of those little Tesla trucks over there with a trailer hooked to it. That's odd. Looked like a kayak trailer though. It didn't look like a boat trailer. Yeah, I'll be back out Monday. I'll run another probably 4 weeks. 3.5, 4 weeks, and I'll come back. During the summertime, you'll see people with RVs all over the place, both sides of the road up through here. I think they can park there for 3 nights. Where they run them off. There you go, 4 more weeks. Oh, you're in Temple? Yeah, you're up there by Waco. I think they're getting a lot of rain up there, from what I understand. I think Dallas and Waco, from Dallas to Waco, maybe even as far south as Austin, is getting a lot of rain. Friends of mine on Facebook were posting videos in Arlington yesterday. The streets were pretty flooded. Yeah, it's always nice going home. Ain't it? Yeah, it's supposed to get bad again this afternoon. Well, I was watching the weather this morning. They were talking about more storms. Supposed to spread out across there. All this cloud cover you see here, that's what this is. It's that front up there pulling moisture off the Gulf. That's why we got all this cloud cover down here now. And it's been doing that for probably 4 days. Port Aransas, Texas. Let's see if the ferry wait is really 15 minutes like the sign said. I don't think they update that sign enough. Over here to the right is where a lot of those windmills come out of, and windmill parts. I don't know if y'all were able to see it as I was coming up. They had them all stacked up out there on the ground. You'll see Lone Star Transportation and ATS, a few of them other companies that haul those windmills coming in and out of there. Now we wait. Wait for the ferry to do its thing. This is a short ferry ride, and they normally have 2 of them working, so it don't take long. But there is quite a few people up there waiting. A cat pissed you off. Oh, they wouldn't load you because of lightning strike. Yeah, they do that crap sometimes. Yeah, the ferries in Galveston are quite a bit longer. It's like a 20-minute ferry ride in Galveston. Here it's like a 5-minute ferry ride or 10-minute ferry ride. It's quick. You can literally see the other side over there. But Galveston has 4 or 5 ferries working at any given time. Down here, I think it's just 2. Galveston ferry ride's long enough you can get out of the car and walk around. You can go up on the upper deck and all that. This ferry ride's not long enough for none of that. No funky looking ship over there. Weird looking. It's got a big helicopter pad on top of it. Yeah, these ferries are free, Josh. They don't cost nothing. Just get on it and go across. Don't pull a fishing pole out, though. They kind of freak out. I wonder if one of the ferries went down, because normally, no, they're fixing to start moving us. Normally they'll sit stationary here very long. They got these guys down here that guide everybody on and off the ferries. I kind of feel bad for them, man, because during the summer that job would suck. Anybody that's ever been down here knows it gets hot. Over here, line up. Yeah, so they got they got 3 ferries over here. Normally they just run 2, but looks like they got 3 running. Yeah, hot and humid. And these guys that stand out here working the ferries, they're out here all day long. just out in the open. There ain't no shade, there ain't nothing. I don't know what they pay them, but I'm sure it's not enough. Driving the ferry wouldn't be a bad job, though. They got AC up there. But working the deck, that would suck. It's not quite as big of a terminal down here, though, as it is up in Galveston. Galveston's probably got 10 people on the ground on both sides. Here's just a couple. They must be having issues. They've been holding them cars on that ferry. You look right there in front of me, there's cars on that ferry. Normally you're on and off of it. They've been on there since we pulled up over here. Oh. There they go. They're finally going to cut them loose. No, they might have more than two working, because one ferry just left and I see one coming. Plus we got this one right here, so that's three. Someone drove a forklift onto the ferry. I don't know if y'all can see it. There's a forklift hauling a tote coming off of the ferry. Do what you gotta do, I guess. This is a short ferry ride. You can see the other side. I've never rode that ferry in New York. I don't think I've ever rode a ferry in a big truck ever. I've been through a few tunnels, but I don't think I've ever rode any ferries. I've seen big trucks on the ferries up in Galveston. I've never seen any on these ferries down here. But these ferries down here are so small, big truck would take up an entire lane, probably from front to back. Here we go. Yeah, that is pretty quick. No, I've never rode a ferry up there. I've been up in that area quite a few times, but never caught a ferry up there. I don't know why Port Aransas put ferries in here. They literally could have put a bridge across this little canal. Ain't no telling what we're liable to see though when we get off. Normally when I see crazy crap, it's on this side. Not the last time I was home, but the time before I came off the ferry. Some lady was riding a bike on this side with no clothes on. But she wasn't of the age of anything you'd want to see. I'm still scarred from that. You'll see people down here with jet skis doing crap like that. I haven't seen them jumping the wakes off the ferries, but I see them doing it on the fishing boats when they're running by. I'll be damned, I was wrong. There's a truck over there on that other ferry. Looks like a hopper. The bottom hopper over there. That's the first time I've ever seen that. That ferry going back's got a bottom hopper on it. But it looked like he was taking up that whole outside lane. Oh, you're from up there? I thought you lived in Arizona, man. I didn't know you were from New York. We coming in for a landing. There they go. Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I think Arizona would be a lot less expensive.
Line in. Say a command.
Bluetooth audio. I still got my audio. Well, that's what's crazy, Josh. Everywhere is becoming like California. We have several towns here in Texas that are doing that. I was talking to some people last time I was in Cody, Wyoming. They're having that same issue there. But it's like there's so many people leaving California, but every time I'm in California, I see them still building houses and apartments and stuff like that. So it's like, with everybody leaving, who's moving into those houses? I mean, do they just have the border wide open and that's how they're upping their population? I mean, you would think that their population would be shrinking. They wouldn't still be building houses and apartments. But they still are. Well, no 80-year-old women running around with no clothes on a bike, so we're good. We're going to go this way, get down to the beach. The roads on this side are a little bit funky. You got to kind of pay attention. You get jacked up real quick. Yeah, you would think they wouldn't still be building houses out there and building apartments, but you see it constantly. I don't think anybody's moving to California. Well, that's possible. It could be for the illegals. Maybe they're just, maybe that's why California wasn't worried about their population abandoning a jumping ship, taking off. They just let a few more in. Who knows? Because I know there's a lot of towns all over the country, all the way to Florida, that have had an issue with quite a few people moving from California. The other thing that kind of throws me off about the folks moving from California, so moved from California, they left those politics, they didn't like it, but then they'll get where they're going and still push the same line. They still push those same politics. And it's like, why? Well, why would you want exactly what you just left? Doesn't make any sense to me. I gotta remember how to get down to the beach here. I don't come over to this side very much. We're just gonna keep taking roads here. I know the beach is over here to the left. We're just gonna keep taking roads until we get to the beach. Well, they got them RVs packed in there. You can reach out the window of one and shake hands with somebody in the next one. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. I had my finger ready to hit the end button in case that was happening. That way I wouldn't get in trouble, get my damn channel shut down from nudity. So I had my hand ready to cancel the live if I came across and that situation was happening. Because on this side, there's all kinds of weird crap goes on over here. Well, I can see the beach. I see the beach to my left on the other side of the levee. Now, how do I get to it? Which one of these roads takes me over there? Y'all like that California stop? Let's see here. Coming right back to the road I was on. To the right or to the left? Let's go to the right. Might be down the end of this road. Takes me over there. Usually they got signs up, beach access. But we're not really in the tourist season yet, so. Oh yeah, they do have signs up. It says beach right there. Make a right. Good. Follow this on down. See what's popping down here, if anything. That's a tobacco-free campus. I drive through a campus. Oh yeah, this is the road. Now I recognize it. We're on the right road, I think. Yeah. We're on the right road. University of Texas Marine Science Institute. Y'all gonna let me go by? They got a tour bus down here looking at a. I'm gonna spin around so y'all can see this. They got a tour bus down here looking at a dump truck. I don't know where they're from, but apparently wherever they're from, they don't have dump trucks. Y'all probably can't see it on the camera, but we got a Coast Guard chopper hovering over there, out over the water. They must be training or something. No, there ain't much popping down here. Ain't very many people down here. This is a good fishing spot right here. Ooh, don't get stuck. The waves are kicking pretty good. The Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf of America, whichever way you want to call it. On the weekends, it'll be packed shoulder to shoulder down here. I don't like coming down here on the weekends. But it's relaxing. It's mesmerizing. Well, you can sit down here and watch waves for about 20 minutes and all your problems will go away. They had a sandcastle competition or some crap down here last weekend. I didn't come down here for that. Go back through my chat here. There we go. Oh, this is relaxing. Every time I come down here and chill and watch this, it makes me not want to go back trucking. Unfortunately, I can't make a living sitting down here looking at the ocean. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. If I can ever figure out how to make a living sitting down here, I sure would do it though. whole lot popping down here, though. It's kind of quiet, actually. Yeah, it's a little choppy. The wind's died down a little bit. Yesterday and the day before, it was blowing pretty good. It was probably blowing 25, 30 mile an hour yesterday. That wind's down enough today, though, that I could probably do some fishing this afternoon. Have to check to see when high tide is. Went fishing the other day, but all I caught were 2 hardheads. Didn't catch anything any good. It's peaceful, though. You're probably going to get to see the Coast Guard helicopter, because it looks like it's flying out over here now. I don't know if it's going to come up in the camera or not. Back up. Oh yeah, you can catch it. There it is. Coast Guard out doing their thing this morning. Fake military. I don't know. I think Coast Guard would be the way to go. When I lived in Port Aransas, there's a Coast Guard station there, and some of the guys that were stationed there lived the same building I lived in, and I seemed to have it made. It was pretty laid back. Get all the benefits of being in the military and don't really have to worry about war. I guess unless it comes here, I think that's the only time they really got to worry about it. Not sure how all that works, but yeah, Coast Guard would definitely be the way to go. I know friends of mine when I was younger were trying to get in. I think there was like a 2-year wait back then to get into the Coast Guard. Oh, I didn't know that. They only allow people to have spots for 20 years. I didn't know they did things outside of the country. I know down here you see them doing a lot of the protecting against drug trafficking or chasing down people moving drugs in on boats and stuff like that, which is not as common here as it is in Florida. Most drugs here move by land, but Coast Guard does that down here. They do a lot of rescues when these commercial boats or ships get in trouble. They do stuff like that down here. or when somebody comes down here and tries to kill themselves drowning, they don't really know how to swim. Oh, I didn't know they had Coast Guard in Iraq. That's interesting. How come you didn't go into the medical field when you got out of the service, Josh? I know you did medical stuff in the Navy. Kind of surprised you didn't go into that when you got out. Oh, I got you. You were originally a helicopter mechanic and they swapped you over to medic. My dad was in the Navy from 1963 to 1975. He was a machinist mate other than the 2 years he volunteered as a river rat in Vietnam, 68 and 1969. He was a river rat. But other than that, he was a machinist mate. Well, I've had my fill of ocean view, so we'll work our way back across. That little boat you see right there, that's what services the oil rigs offshore down here. They take supplies and crew members to some of the oil rigs. That used to be a pretty decent paying job. There's just not a whole lot of it anymore. Yeah, I'm not big on the big pharma thing either. You know, they get paid for treating, not for curing. And I'm a little worried when I go to a doctor and you see they have a license to practice medicine. You know, I really don't like that terminology, practicing medicine. You should be practicing. Don't practice on me. You should already know what you're doing. Alright guys, I'm gonna scoot on by y'all right quick. Or when they say, I've been practicing medicine for 20 years. That just doesn't give me any comfort. The word practice just kind of messes it up. Yeah, nurse practitioner. Nowadays, I don't know about where you live, but down here it's so hard. Like if you don't already have a primary care physician, most of the time that's what you're going to end up with. as a nurse practitioner. They're so short-staffed on medical personnel down here that it's pretty near impossible to get a PCP anymore. That's why we got so many of these urgent care clinics and stuff. They handle most of the stuff that people used to would have gone to a PCP for. You know. I don't have a primary either anymore, Josh. I used to, but not anymore. I have insurance, but if I don't feel well or whatever, I get online and do the teledoc or whatever. If I need to go to the doctor in person, have tests run or whatever, I just go to urgent care, have them do it. They normally handle everything, you know, even writing prescriptions and whatever you need. Yep. It's crazy because we used to lead the world in medical technology. I don't believe that's the case anymore. There's other countries that are curing cancer and different things like that. We're not doing that here. But I think our priorities here are a little out of whack. You know, I see them cloning chicken meat, you know, cloning beef meat, you know, doing stuff like that. But I think our focus is off. It's wrong. But honestly, I feel like they can cure a lot of things that they don't cure. There's no money in curing it. Hell, if you get on TikTok, watch it long enough, you'll find all kinds of people putting out different things that people have used to cure people. You know, like black seed cumin oil is one of the things people use to cure cancer. Different mixtures of turmeric and all kinds of stuff. I believe whatever ails you on this earth, there's a cure for it. I think they're even curing cancer in Mexico. I know there's a lot of people here that go down there and get treatment. Now, where is the entrance for this ferry? No ferry, no entrance to ferry. Turn on red. Well, how do you get to the ferry then? I'll make a right here anyway. Alright, lady, don't let me run over you. She does not look happy to be doing that job. This side normally doesn't have a wait at all, normally. This side you can pretty much go right in and get right on the ferry. Every time I come through here, it reminds me of that old movie, Police Academy. they were going through all the turns and stuff. I'm coming, dude. I'm coming. Appreciate you. Oh, we're going to get a front row seat this time. Yeah, we got a front row seat this time. Yeah, I believe there's a lot of things out here that'll cure different things. That's like blood pressure, high blood pressure, which is a really common deal. I know somebody that just takes that garlic stuff you can get at Walmart. It's garlic, it's got a few other things in it, but it's like a blood pressure formula, potassium, and he takes one of those a day. Doesn't need blood pressure medicine anymore, just takes that. Took it for a couple of weeks and his blood pressure leveled out, been level ever since. Yeah, racing autocross. Yeah, all them cones, man. That's where I saw the lady on the bicycle, was right in that area the last time I came over, or the time before, whenever it was. Looks like we're probably going to get held up a minute on this one, because I see a couple of tugboats coming with some kind of object, large or something. So we'll probably have to wait on them to pass before we can get across here. No, I know cholesterol is used for brain function. Like your brain requires it to a certain point. A lot of that stuff they try to cut completely out of the diet is, your body needs to a certain. It's like salt. Your body needs salt to a certain point. It's when it becomes excessive that it becomes a problem. But anything, I don't care what it is, if you do it in excess, it's going to be a problem. Garlic is really good for you, but if you do it in excess, it might be a problem. Oregano oil, that's another one that's really good for you. But I know if you do it in excess, it can be a problem. Well, that's some pretty cool stuff coming down the channel. I like having a front row view. Makes me feel kind of claustrophobic when I'm up in the middle. I like either being all the way in the back or all the way in the front. Yeah, it looks like y'all are going to get to see this stuff coming down the channel. They're going to have to wait for this stuff to pass before we can pull out. I don't know what this first deal is, but that second thing behind it is, that's modules for petrochemical refinery. Tugboats are pretty much tugboats and barges are pretty much the trucking version of the water world. They move goods and equipment by water. Right. Tinfoil hats. It reminds me of back in the day when everybody out in New Mexico was worried because people kept saying that they were getting abducted out there, Roswell, Clovis, over in that area. And all I can think is like some really intelligent being from light years away traveled all the way across the universe. They came to Earth. They didn't go find the most intelligent minds. They didn't go find world leaders. They found Billy Bob out there dating his cousin in an RV, living in the desert in Roswell, New Mexico. And that's the one they felt they needed to probe. Now that would be a pretty cool job to have right there. So I don't know what that is. That's right there. This next object coming up though, it's modules. That's what that is. Probably cut us loose here in a minute. The second one coming up, it'll be the last one. Oh, they're gonna go ahead and do it now. So that's modules right there. That'll go out to a chemical refinery, get put in place, and then connect it up with other pieces. Gets put together like a big jigsaw puzzle. That tugboat there is out of New Orleans. Here we are. Get back to the mainland here. You too, Josh. I'm gonna get off here in a minute. I was just taking a ride. So. Who they're gonna put off next? There we go. Now we're back on the mainland. Now I gotta go find me a fishing spot. this Redfish Bay right here. Go up here to the bait shop, see if they got some live shrimp, some live croakers. Come over here and do a little bit of fishing. Past that bait shop already. There's one right there, but I don't ever go to that one. No, I didn't. That's on the other side. Alright. Well, I'm going to go in here and get some bait, and then I'm going to go find me a spot over here in this water out in front of us and see if I can catch a couple trout, catch a couple redfish, so I can do a little fish fry tonight. Y'all take care, stay safe. Thank you for stopping by. Y'all be good, and we'll catch you on the flip side.